Good morning, guys. So, Visual Force, it's a tag-based markup language. Okay, it's like a simple HTML. Okay, it is like as HTML. We know that HTML is a hypertext markup language, and you can use the tags to design the web pages, right? The same way, Visual Force is also like markup language. You can use it to design the Salesforce pages. Okay, when we'll go for the Visual Force page, when there is a requirement to extend the layout, okay, whenever you want to have your own customized layout, it means view to create or edit the record something, then you can go for the Visual Force page. Okay, so that is the most important point here. Okay, in the Visual Force we have different tags that we'll discuss one by one. Okay, but the main important tag is page, apex colon page. So it starts with apex colon page and it ends with apex colon page. This is a basic tag and this is the starting tag. This is called as a root tag. Okay, and inside this only you can write whatever you want. Okay, let's write our own Visual Force page now. Okay, for that, on your settings, okay, here you have some different things here, accessibility mode, and then here development mode is there. You have to enable the development mode and show view state in the development mode. These two you have to enable, remaining thing you can ignore that. Okay, remove this. If you make it accessibility mode, make setup default lines, then post.com. Here it is. We have this one. So here you should enable the development mode and show view state. Okay, I'll tell you that. Now how to create a Visual Force page. There are two ways of creating the Visual Force page. One is with developer console, another one is with Visual Force pages. Under the build and development, then we can go for the Visual Force page here. You can create new Visual Force page here. This opens. You can give your name, then label name. So you can like, okay, let's create this Visual Force reference for us. New Visual Force page. Okay, we have seen that apex class, apex trigger, then Visual Force page, then Visual Force component, static resource, then lightning. Okay, in between we'll discuss the integration as well. Visual Force page, I'm using hello. Okay, once this is done, inside the tags you can write everything. Okay, once it is done, how to access the Visual Force page. Okay, to look like that, what you have to do is apex slash hello. This opens like this. Apex slash the Visual Force name, then that will open like this. Here you can write your own tags and everything. Whatever the HTML you can write here. If you want to bold tag, you can use this is bold. Now here if you want to use some table, you can create that. These are the HTML tags to create the table. So that's, you can go to the w3schools.com. There you can learn your basic HTML. It's not much important, but better to use it as well. Just refresh that. Serial number and then the values. Okay. If you want to use some borders or something, table order. Okay, you can use those tags in the Visual Force page. Whatever the HTML you want to use, you can use like this. Okay, so that is just basic Visual Force page. Inside the Visual Force page, you can use any HTML code apart from the Visual Force code. Okay, next, let's see how to create an account. Okay, in Visual Force we have different controllers. Okay, this question will be asked in the interviews as well. We have standard controller, okay, and then custom controllers. Everywhere wherever you go, there will be standard and custom, okay. Then again standard list controller, then we have standard set controller. Okay, these are the names of the controllers we have. Apart from that, we have one more. This is the most important one, extension controller. Okay, these are the controllers we have. One is standard controller, custom controller, standard list controller, standard set controller, then extension controller. If we learn them, that's on that, on the Visual Force. Then we have some of the action functions like as Ajax functions. Those are called as some action function, action support, okay, action region, and then different other things. Okay, that also we have. Okay, now let's see here. Let's see the what is standard controller. Okay, standard controller nothing but the object API name. Object API name, whatever it is. If you create a custom object, if you create a standard object, whatever the object, so you can use the object API name as the standard controllers. Okay, if you see any record or any object, if you want to create account, so there will be some other things: save, save a new, cancel, right? As well as on the existing records there will be edit, delete, and undelete will be there, right? Then these are the functions which will be available in the standard controllers. Okay, if you want to create a record, or if you want to edit a record, or if you want to cancel the request, whatever you want to do, we have the standard standard controllers on this. Here it is. First you can see that what is Visual Force page and how this works. Other things. Let's see here. What is Visual Force page? It's a framework, okay, that allows developers to build sophisticated and custom user interfaces. Okay, everything will be stored inside the force.com platform. Then that will be opened. Here one Visual Force page contains what? We can have markup, okay, as well as Visual Force markup will be there and controllers will be there. Under the controllers we have standard controllers, then standard list controllers, then we have extension controllers and standard controller extensions. Okay, this for whatever we have discussed, that is the thing here. Okay, let's see that standard controller. So what is a standard controller? In the standard controller there are some functions. How to declare a standard controller? Just apex page, then standard controller and object API name. Okay, if you put object API name, then it treats that as the standard controller. Once that, what are the methods we have in this actions, or let's say what are the actions we have in this? So we have save, okay, then click save, edit, delete, cancel, list. These are the methods we have in the standard controllers. Okay, standard controllers can have save, click save, edit, and then delete, cancel, as well as list. So these are the things you have to know, that what is save, what it does. So it just insert a record or update an existing record. Then click save, just use the click save. It means it just try to save and keep on the same page. It won't go to the some other page. Edit, it goes to the edit page. Delete, if you want to delete a record you can use this. Cancel, if you want to cancel the operation you can use. List, to return the page reference object with the standard list page. Standard list page means here it is how it reads. This is also one of the standard list page where it shows all the accounts and other details. Okay, so that's the thing. Let's use the one standard controller to create one account. Okay, let's see. First VF page to, let's say I want to create one account using the Visual Force page. Create account. Okay, and here let's use. So in this thing you can see lot of tags are there. These are called as attributes. Okay, these are called as attributes. Here wizard, title, tab style, standard controllers, then show header, setup, rendered, record set var, read only, and then name, whatever it is. So all the things are there. We can't discuss all the things, but I will tell you some of the important points. Okay, here we have standard controller. We have two things, controller and standard controller. When you say that controller, it is custom controller. When you say that standard controller, it's a object API name. Okay, once you put, you can put like this, account. Okay, if any custom object that ends with _C. Okay, now once it is done, you have to write one form tag. Okay, this is one form. If you click on new account, this is one form where you are entering the data. right? This is the form to enter the data, to fill the data here. The same way we have to say that apex column form tag. Here we have different attributes as well. Okay, now here form tag. Now what I want to is I want to display the information first like this one, account information. For that, what you can say that apex colon page block. Okay, this is called page block. Here you can give title, say that account information. Okay, once this is done, what you have to do, you have to enter the data into some fields. How can you use that fields? Okay, so for that, as it is S object, it means Salesforce object, right? Any standard or custom object is called as Salesforce objects. This is S object. You can use like this, apex form input field. Okay, input field. This takes here what you have to do is value, and here what is the field you need to add. Okay, let's say account dot name. This is the expression where flower bracket starts and exclamatory symbol, then the field name should be there, then finally the flower bracket should end. This is the expression where we should use in the Visual Force page. Wherever you want, you just use like this. Okay, just try that. Now here let's use that apex slash create account. Okay, here it comes like that. It comes like that, but here there is no label is there. What is this, whether this field is this or something else? Okay, for that what we can do is you can give label as, okay, here account name. Okay, here we have a preview button. Here itself you can click on this and it opens like this. Label, it didn't come, previously it was coming, but let's give like this, name, it should be name, then it displaying like this. Okay, to display in the same line, what we can do is let's form a table. We can form the table as well, right? Let's say I'm saying that table means for each and every table there be rows only, right? And so we are starting tr, this is a row, and the first row we have to show the headers, right? Column names. For that what I'm saying that name, sorry, th name, then here I'm using that tag apex colon input field value equals to account dot name. This comes like this. Okay, and whatever the fields you want in the separate tier, it means it should come in next row, right? So we can use like this name. Then if you want to use whatever the accounts you need it, let's say you want some fields called as account name we have given, then we are saying that industry. For that, let's give like this industry. Industry. Okay. As well, we can use type. For that, so the syntax is same. You just need to give like this. Whatever you want to give, you can give like this. Same way, if you want to give active checkbox, you can use that as well. Okay, name, industry, type, active. Okay, so once the data is entered, we have to save the record, right? And so that we can have the button here. What is that button? Save, right? If you put that, what you have to do is inside this apex colon command button, we have command button. There we have action equals to. So we have different actions in this one. So you can use save. To edit the record, you have to use save. And then you can give some name or value. Save. Save button came. Okay. If you want to use cancel, you can use that using here, put here, and then use cancel. Okay. If you click on cancel, it goes back to the home page. Okay. Else, if you click on this preview, it comes here. Okay. And you can use any number of fields wherever you want that. Okay. Let's use to create one record.
So if you create a field event, it will get it is a widget like an industry.
That comes here. You don't need to worry about that.
So
It says
whatever changes in the events, you will get directly.
yes. Okay. Now see here in common places we'll be getting the save button in two places, on the above of the page and here in the below of the content. So for that what we can do is we can put apex colon page block buttons. Okay, if we put the buttons inside this tag, so this what it does is it takes the buttons and put on the top of the page as well as end of the page. Okay, it's called page block buttons. Let's say I'm going to create a record called test VF account. That's gone to here. So the record has been created. Okay, so that is how we have to create an account using the standard controller. Okay, let's say that what I want to edit the record for this. Okay, you are not required to do anything. Take the ID, then put apex colon create account underscore ID equals to this. Okay, the same page will come here. Then I'm adding this 123, then I is using different This will be updated. Okay, for editing and creating the record as well, you can use same. Okay, that's how you have to create the account using standard controller. If you want to use the user information, you can use like this. Here it is. It should be in the this format. Finally, dollar user dot name. SVSFDC. Okay, you can use a lot of the standard things here. Okay, now let's say that I don't want to display this particular tag. Okay, let me use one tag called as apex colon page block. Title. This is we have render hello page block. So the page block means it comes in the different section. Okay, now here what I'm trying to do is I don't want to display this. There is a tag attribute for everything rendered. If you make it rendered equals to false, then this won't be displayed here. Okay, rendered means whether we have to show that on the page or not, you can decide that. So as we enable the development mode on the user object, we can have the information here as well. Here you can see that. Okay, so there is a one more button called view state, right? You should know about this view state. When you write the form tag, then only this view state will display here. Okay, this view state size is 2.2 KB here. The maximum size is 135 KB. Okay, if it exceeds the 135 KB, then it throws the error message that view state error. This is very much important. This question will be asked in the interviews. Okay, in Visual Force page we have controllers, then view state. How to avoid the view state? Okay, then Ajax functions. That's it, nothing other than that. There will be no questions on others. Okay, here what it contains? It contains what are the components we have, and if there are any expressions, what is the size it is taking, and other details as well. Okay, so 2.26 KB it is. If it exceeds 135 KB, then automatically it throws the error message. Okay, that is on the view state error. Here also you can write the code. If you write the code and if you make it true, okay, once you save, automatically here it will be displayed here. You don't need to go to the developer console and need to save again. Okay, here also you can just make changes. If you make the change, then automatically reflects here. Okay, that's about the Visual Force standard controller and rendered. There are different things: rendered, re-render, Okay, rendered as, we have different other things. Here if you see that, here it is rendered as. Okay, rendered as, if you use that, here you can use PDF. It displays like this. Okay, so whenever you want to display that information in the PDF format, you can use this rendered as. Okay, we have seen that rendered and rendered as. Okay, so that's about the standard controller. And as we have seen that, just I have shown you that user information, right? The same like user information, you can get access like this: action, and then API, asset, cache information, cache session, component, current page. So if you want to get some current page information or parameters, you can display like this: field set, label. If you want to use the custom labels here, you can use like this. There is an example here: label dot label help text. Okay, and here then object type information, we have organization information, page information, permission. If you want to get the access to the custom permissions, then you can use this permission thing. Okay, so then profile information, if you want to get resource, setup, site, user information, we use this user, and then user role as well. Okay, we have different global variables. These are called as global variables. Okay, you should know about all the global variables here. And as of now, what we discussed, we have seen that standard controller and its functions and its actions. We have seen that, and then we have seen that command action functions at the sorry, rendered, and then we have seen that rendered as. Okay, then we have seen that global variables. You can practice with the global variables using the custom labels and using the custom permissions and other things. Okay, if you want to show that profile information, if you want to see that, you just say, let's say that I want to use the profile information in my custom page. Just click on that, it shows the example. If you want to use profile name, you can directly use like this. It shows the example and it shows the information also. System administrator. Okay, this is how it displays the information on this. Let's say that if you want to use some custom permission, it is permission, this one. Okay, we know that custom permissions where we want to access. Okay, so custom permissions are mostly used in these things. Okay, and this is about the standard controller and some global variables. You have to practice each and every global variable here. Okay, then only you can gain the knowledge on this standard controllers or the pages. Okay, here we have the functions as well. What are the functions we have? Date function, and then date time, day, month, now, and whatever it is. Let's say that if you want to display some current information, let's say current date information, you can use like this: date, is it rendered or not? Oh, rendered equals to, okay, so this is date, current date and time here. Okay, the same way you can display some month as well. How to display the month of date? Okay, let's say I'm giving that date value, you can give date. This is the functions, you just need to correct that. There will be different syntax. So if you want to form a date, then you have to pass year, month, date. Okay, then it forms the date as well. Okay, so then date value, date, these are the functions you need to use. Today, if you give this today, then it prints the today's date. Okay, here, year of date, if you put like this, then it gives the year. This I'll show you one example like that. Year of, oh, it should be in the function. Syntax error. Today is this, then year, syntax should be year of date. Not sure whether it gives. Okay, so you just need to pass one date. Okay, so date, you know that how to format that. So here it is, the date. You have to pass year, then uh, month, day. If you want to pass like this, it forms the date, then you can use the date inside that. Then we have different functions here that's called as logical functions, and, or, and then case, blank value, if, is blank, is clone, is new. So these are all the things. I think you have already came to know all these functions in the administration part, right? So all these functions will be used here. Okay, what are the functions we used in administration? All these functions are used here. Okay, so that's about other things. Okay, this is standard object, and I mean standard controller on the standard object. If you want to use the custom object also, you can use custom object information and put the same thing. But here, when you are saying that field, the object API name dot field name. Here it is account is the API name, so we use that account only. If you use the custom object, then it ends with double underscore C. So here, that you have to use like this. Okay? Any questions on this? No questions? Then let's see example from the standard list controller. This is also very simple. I'll just tell you that. Sorry, I created this. So when you are using the standard list controller, you have to use the same standard controller. Then finally, you have to set as a record set var. This is called, you can give your own name. What standard list controller will give that information? Standard list controller will give the records in, so let's say it's a pagination. If you have 1000 records, first some records will come, then you have to click next, some other records. If you click next, some other records, like that. Okay. Now here, for that, what I'm trying to do is apex page block. Here, yeah, I'm showing that title equals to accounts, then apex colon page block table. We have a page block table. So the page block table means it displays the data in the table format, nothing other than that. We are using that. You can use page block table or data table as well. There is no other restrictions on that. So what is the difference between the page block table and data table is, when you use the page block table, it displays the information in the Salesforce standard style. Okay, but if you use the data table, it won't display any colors or something. It just plain text, it displays like that. Okay, that's why here we are using value equals to, we have to use here, value means whatever the record set where we have used, that we should display like this. We should use that. Then we have var. Here I'm using this ACC. This means it just display the information like this. Okay, so here what happens when this page is accessed, it gets the all the accounts first, and those accounts will store into this accounts field. Now we are iterating the list of values here. We know for loop, right? Here page block table have the list of values and iterate them. We know that how to write the for loop. Inside the for loop, for data type space variable name. Here this is the variable name. Okay, you can use whatever you want to display. Let's say that apex colon. If you want to enter the data, you have to use input field. If you want to display the data, you have to use output field. Output field. Okay, then you have to use value equals to, same way here, but here you have to give acc dot name because the values are in the this one. Okay, now in the standard list controller we have different methods. Okay, let's access this. We should have apex colon command button value action equals to next, value equals to next. Okay, it means it should display different records. Just use that, what is that, account list. What happens is it displays the header information as well. Command button action. Okay, here it is displaying. By default 20 records. So this output field, whatever we discussed, that should be used when you are displaying the information from controller, I mean from Apex to Visualforce page. Okay, or when you are using the standard thing. Okay, but here we are displaying this one information in the loop, so we should use the column. Okay, inside the page block table you should use the column. Okay, so here when it displays first 20 records, next it displays another 20 records, and then it displays the records. Okay, if you want put, you can put the next and then previous, we have next, previous, first and last. So these are the things we have. Here it is. If you make it last, it goes to the last page of the records, and if you make it first, it goes to the first thing. Then we have next, then previous. Okay, these are the functions or actions we have in the standard list controllers. Let's see what are the things here. You can see the functions here. Save we have, then quick save, list, cancel, we know that cancel, first, last, next, previous. These are the methods we have in the Salesforce on the standard list controllers. Okay, you can use this standard list controllers as well, global variables, and then we have seen that standard list controller. Create a Visualforce page where it displays the account creation. If you click on new, it creates like this, right? These are all, this is the page block section. I mean, this is the page block, and this is the also one more page block. This is almost, this is one more page block. These are page block tables. Okay, design as it is. Okay, design this as it is, however it is, and instead of writing the columns or tables, what you can do is you can use page block sections. I will show you that as well. It's showing like this, right? Here what you can do is apex colon page block table, let's say page block section you can use. Okay, and then section name you can give like this. Columns is 4. Okay, now here I am giving apex colon page block section item. Okay, and this one item you can use like this. First one is name, then second one is apex page block section item, you can give like this. Okay, if you view this, it displays like this, name, and then it's straight to that name, it will give the space and put in this one. So what happens is, if you put like this, so this will be in the same order, and here you can copy this. So here I have given name, then industry. Okay, here industry you have to give that industry, then type, you can give type. Here one more, what is active. Here if you want to comment the code, you have to use like this, till the table, you don't need this. This is how it displays page block table. I mean page block sections here. Okay, so why I'm showing like this, when you create the editing, it is displaying the in two columns only, right? Two columns. So here it is, name is one column and this text box is one column, name is one column, this is one column. So one line having four columns, alright. That's why I have given here the four columns. Okay, name is one column, then account name. This is one, this is one, this is one. So these are four. It means these two, name and industry, will come beside to that, name and industry. So when you use another one, it goes to the next line. If you type and active, it goes to second line, right? If you use any number of fields, that goes into different format. Okay, if we give here 6 columns or something, let's say if you give 6 columns, it goes and display in the this order. Okay, if we increase number of columns, then it displays in the same order, name, industry, type, active. You can use any number of things. So you have to use the same way here. Okay, and we have, I just need, let's say that when I'm creating the account, I don't want to show this standard page. Okay, I need to show my own page, whatever I have created. For that, what you can do is, any object, whatever it is, you can go to the page, and here we have buttons, right? Everywhere we have buttons. We have already seen that. And the buttons, if you say that, what you are saying, when it is editing, or let's say creating the record, right? When you are creating the record, it means new. When you click on the new, it should display in this one. You just select the Visual Force page, create account, save this. Now when you click on this, create new, it directly goes to the our page. Okay, this is called overriding the buttons. You can override the buttons, standard buttons. Okay, and here if you want to use for editing also, you can use same. Edit, click on this, select, go to any account, click on that. Now click on edit. Okay, displays like this. You can even edit the button. You can override the edit, or you can override the view button as well, whatever it is. Okay, so this is how we have to override the buttons here. So I'm just reverting back, editing. Okay, we just carry on with this functionality. So overriding the buttons and other thing, we'll see later. Then you have tabs, right? So the tabs also you can create for the Visual Force page. So when I click on these buttons, it goes to the product page, I mean the object page. Here I want the tab. When I click on this tab, it should go to the Visual Force page. So here you can see, create this. Let's say that account, I'm giving this common how the accessibility will be given on the tabs. Okay, save. And here if we click on account, so it goes to the account page. This is how we have to create the Visual Force tabs as well. Okay, so we have seen that even creating the tabs. So these tabs are called as VF tabs. So that's called Visual Force tabs. Okay, practice them, we'll see later.